So this is our week 5. We are cruising along in the course, and hopefully you all, we're screen sharing at the moment, just kind of answering a few Q&As about the assignment that's due this weekend with the KPIs. And I'll stop sharing for now. And then we are expecting our guest speaker to show up any moment. To give you a little bit of background, this is Dr. Sam Parisi. He has a functional fitness and chiropractic clinic. He actually has his 2 offices, one on the FIU campus, and he's been there basically as long as I have at FIU. And then he also has a practice over in Wynwood, where he calls Win Wellness. And he does a few extra modalities and uses some additional technology over there. Works with a lot of athletes and things. But what's really interesting to me in having him come in and talk to you is the regulations, if you will, on marketing in health and wellness kinds of industries, especially when it falls under the medical label. It presents some challenges, both from the patient side as well as the HIPAA and other regulation sides, and what you can say in your marketing, what you can't even market, and those sort of things. So I think it'll be a really interesting and enlightening discussion. Let me just check in with him and make sure he's good. I'm going to send him the link one more time. Oh, and he's calling. So hang on just a second. I'm going to pause recording. And we're going to unmute and pin. Oh, not you. Let's see. Are you unmuted?
How's that?
There you go. So
Okay.
hi everyone, and welcome, please, Dr. Richard Sam Parisi. I was just telling them that you have 2 practices, one here at FIU and one over in Wynwood. And so I'll let you take it from there.
Awesome. Thank you. Sorry for the lateness, guys. I've been working a lot today, and I'm happy to be here with you. So yeah, I wanted to kind of go over a little bit of how we got started and the 2 practices, where they are, what we do, what separates us. I'd love to get a little feedback from you guys. And I know we don't have too much time. I'll try to speak pretty fast. If anybody has any questions, I'll give you guys my phone number, cell, email, all that stuff at the end, okay? So if you have any questions. So yeah, I started a practice in 2015 at FIU called Campus Chiropractic. Prior to that, I was working as an associate for about almost 5 years, about 4.5 years, saving a little money. I got an opportunity with a partner to open up and go 50% on a practice in FIU, and that started out with we got the original opportunity by joining forces with a Reebok-sponsored CrossFit gym, and from there.
Oh yeah, I remember them.
Yeah, you remember that, right? Oh, by the way, speaking of CrossFit, while we're on that, you guys might hear, I'm in one of my offices now, which is connected to a CrossFit in Wynwood. So you're going to hear music in the background. Wendy, can you hear that? Do you hear any bass or anything? Yeah, they have classes going on, and we share a wall with them at night. It gets a little loud, but there's no patients in here now, but you're just going to hear the gym now turn up a little bit. So don't mind that. And if you can't hear me, just Wendy, interrupt me if you can't hear me, and I'll speak a little bit different or try to move a little bit. So anyways, back to that. We opened up in 2015 with the Reebok-sponsored CrossFit. It was pure ground-up operation, purely ground and pound marketing, meaning that's kind of my term for spreading the word on the ground, essentially, not paying advertising like that, SEO campaigns, Google SEO campaigns, and social media campaigns. Really nothing at the very, very beginning. I'd say our first marketing campaign, we worked with the AMA at FIU, which is the American Marketing Association, does some, I guess, some student work. And I met with a team of students. There's about 5 students. And we started up with, I had my Instagram started before that, but it was really weak. And then I got really some creative juices flowing and had some students, and we really worked together and started getting great content and great ideas on our page. As far as the, the page started gaining traction 6 months in, I'd say. It really started gaining traction. That really started putting us on the map more. We also do some local FIU marketing, like we're on the FIU app, we're on some of the TV screens at GC, some of the in the new student booklets, the freshman booklets and stuff like that. We're in all of those. And we'll do like a complimentary posture screen voucher just to have people kind of welcome into our office a little bit, see what we're about, and possibly give us a try to see if we're a good fit to help them out. So let me time this a little bit so I don't go too far over, because I know we don't have too much time there. So I opened up my second office I opened up my second office. I incorporated it on my birthday on November 16th in 2018. I'll never forget that. And then let me back up before that. I was leaving FIU one night, and one of my old buddies said, "Hey, listen, I was at a CrossFit in Wynwood, and they have an air-conditioned space on the side of it, and it's vacant. And the owner, his name is Bill Olson, and his son is Noah Olson. And Noah Olson's the second, I guess he took second place in the world last year in CrossFit, in the CrossFit Games in the world. So he's a real notable CrossFit athlete." So I said, "Hey, listen, I learned that I don't wait on anything when there's an opportunity like that." I came down there the same night, and I talked to the owner of the place, and I secured the place, and it looked like hell in here. This is the actual suite behind me. I'll kind of show you guys around a little bit and show you what we do here. But I incorporated it in 2018, and then we opened for business in January 2019. As soon as I locked the lease down, I immediately started, we started painting and fixing, patching walls and all that stuff. Got the front desk, got the furniture, got the computers, ordered tables, ordered equipment. I'd say one thing that really, now I'm not talking about the campus chiropractic practice. I'm now shifting over to the Win Wellness is the name of it. It's this. That's where I'm at right now. And this place exploded. This is a really successful, small powerhouse little practice. And it is something, we coined the phrase, the art of healthcare here, because Wynwood, as you guys probably know, is known as the art district of Miami. And chiropractic in general has a bit of art to it because it's physical healthcare. It's physical medicine. We're anatomically correcting things within the spine or within other areas, other joints of the body, which can then in turn affect the nervous system. And on top of that, we also do general injury rehab. So I do work with people that have been injured in all sorts of accidents or injuries or sports injuries or anything. So anything,
you got a crew next door, probably. You work on a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah,
with the CrossFits, yeah.
So with the, I'm kind of notorious now for opening up with CrossFit because it's actually really a good idea for what we do. Because people have to walk past our door. You see these windows, right? So these windows, that's the gym is right through there, right? So you'll see people even like just walking by, and they can look in here, and there's tables, there's therapy tables here, okay? And they have to, there's a massage table off to that back left corner, or let's say from your view, maybe it's back right there, and then an adjusting table with traction and all sorts of physical therapy modalities. So some of the things that we do, services we offer here, are cold laser therapy, which is a low-level laser that helps increase cellular energy in an area, in a region that we put it on, which will help accelerate healing time. We have therapeutic ultrasound, and we have electric muscle stim, which is standard in most physical therapy offices. We also do something called flexion distraction. It's a lumbar traction technique that separates the disc spaces, so it decompresses the space a lot. It's a really unique machine. Finally, one of the best pieces of equipment I would say in here, and it's also turned out to be just such a well-balanced machine from a standpoint of effectiveness, and it's something that is good for self-pay clientele from a business standpoint. It's an excellent machine. But the best part is that healthcare is a business, but like everything is a business, obviously, but this is something that we get some really good reward from, because it's not just a business that you make a living from, but this is a super rewarding thing, because the main thing that juices me up is how many people that we can help in a day, you know? And going back to the Shockwave machine, Shockwave may be an instrument that you guys have never heard before. And I'm actually, speaking of marketing, I'm going to take a second on this machine and explain it, because I think this is a key component to marketing. It's a unique machine. Basically, I'll show you real quick, actually. Come for a walk with me.
How about that for hands-on?
So this machine has let's see if I can get that in view a little bit. Okay. This machine looks almost like a pistol. Okay. And what it does, it's a really unique machine. It was developed in Switzerland. And it's modeled, it's the same exact thing as lithotripsy treatment, which is how you break kidney stones from outside of the body. So if you can imagine, this is, let's say, the barrier between the outside and inside of the body. The gun tip would go to the outside of the body. Let me try to get this leveled right there. That tip would go on the outside of the body, and it emits a wave that pulses past the tissue, and it breaks down fibrosis or scar tissue. So areas might fibrose or become fibrosed, or become like scar tissue adhesion type feeling when they become a chronic injury. So what happens is this machine breaks it down and allows your body to send the growth factors through the blood to heal that zone. So I'm pointing to my shoulder, because if you were to do that to the shoulder, it would break down all those adhesions and all that scar tissue and allow your body to then re-heal an unfinished zone of healing, okay? Because it was walled off with fibrosis, okay? So it's a really unique machine, very popular in Europe, gaining huge popularity over here, and it can be used on a lot of different areas of the body, almost anywhere, okay? People use this for plantar, like here we use it a lot for plantar fasciitis, Achilles tendonitis, shoulder tendinopathies, rotator cuff issues. I used it today on all three of those things. People can use this. I know some people that do this in aesthetic type clinics for cellulite treatment. And then it's also used for erectile dysfunction in some clinics too, as far as breaking microplaques and adhesions through musculature. So the machine is ultra versatile. The primary areas that we use it on are shoulder, foot, Achilles, and what else is a popular one that I would say I use that for? Those are the main ones. I get tremendous, tennis elbow, golfer's elbow. That's lateral and medial epicondylitis. I get huge results with those. 3 weeks, I've seen most people in 3 weeks with that. Those problems just drip away. So it's really effective, really cool. So we have a really unique shop set up over here. The game plan moving forward. Wendy, how am I doing on time? I'm trying to move real fast. So
You're doing good.
Okay?
You're doing good.
Okay. I'm going to like 5 more minutes, and then I want to get a little report going with you guys there.
Yeah, and then if you can address some of the the marketing issues with the
Yes.
HIPAA and
Huge. Yeah. From experience, I can definitely tell you. So, and guys, my apologies. I planned on having a huge PowerPoint. I spoke with your teacher earlier today. And this is, I'm coming straight from the real world with you guys on this. I literally wrapped up my last patient right before coming on here with you. We completed, I think it was like 31 visits today over here. It was a very busy day. We did a bunch of that shockwave treatment that I was talking to you about. It was a really busy day, and it was all sorts of, a whole array of different types of cases that walk in our door. I'd say most people find us on, from this office, it's basically word of mouth. I'll talk a little bit about some of these pitfalls of marketing. When it comes to healthcare, the tricky part is if you bill insurance, you have to play by insurance laws or play by those rules. And those rules are dual fee schedules are a problem. If you have one fee schedule that says your prices are this and the other says your prices are this, you have to be careful in how you do that. You can have a dual fee schedule sort of if you know how to do it the right way, document it the right way. There has to be disclosures involved, sometimes hardship agreements involved. But when it comes to advertising, you got to be real careful with that. Now, if you're not billing insurance, you have way more leeway with that. If your guys are taking on clients as marketers and you're taking on a client that's a dentist that's fully out of network, doesn't bill insurances, or a chiropractor for that matter, or any provider, let's say they don't bill insurance, they can start saying like free this, free that. You could send mailers out, you could send all sorts of stuff out, and you can really say whatever you, or a lot of things won't have repercussion. But if you just kind of broadly advertise like, hey, free adjustment at our office, or free, let's say muscle stim or something that we bill, let's say, an insurance for, you got to have disclosures on these things. They're really important, and state boards have those things. So if you're in the future working with a clinic, you want to make sure that that provider knows. Ultimately, it goes back on the provider, not really on the marketer, from what I understand. So there's got to be certain disclosures on things that you're giving away or significantly reducing prices for. Because if you think about it this way, if you submit a claim to if a provider submits a claim to an insurance company and says, I charge $100 for this treatment code, and then you're saying, hey, everybody, if you don't have insurance, it's free. But if you do, it's not. Like, this is what it costs the insurance company, but only the insurance company. You're kind of like Robin Hooding there a little bit, I mean, you have to be careful with that. There's ways around it. A lot of people do offer different codes. If you go to a hospital and you're going to have a baby, and you're going to have a baby, and you have a non-insurance agreement with them, it's going to cost you less than if you have to pay sometimes your large deductibles in a hospital, right? So like, there's ways around it. Everybody does that. But when it comes to advertising, you have to really make sure you know what's up with that, because you can't price gouge insurance companies with that. You can, but you can also get caught
on paper
if you don't have the right disclosures in place. Yeah, if you don't have the right disclosures in place, you just got to have your ducks in a row and make sure you have all your bases covered. Those could be covered by disclosures, hardship agreements. There's no problem with if a student comes in, for instance, on FIU, if I want to say, hey, this population of FIU students only have to pay $40 a visit, but when I bill an insurance company at $65, but I have something that states somewhere that if you're an FIU student and you show us your ID card and we know that you're a student, we can give you this for this discounted rate, and that's fine. But when it's blindly advertising, no population, just come on in for free stuff, I think there's a little bit of, I think you can get a little busted on some of that stuff. So I think you have to have certain populations, certain types of providers. There's a few different scenarios. But if you're an in-network provider or an out-of-network provider and you're billing a lot of insurance and you're advertising that if you don't have insurance that you get free stuff, that's the same codes that you bill an insurance company for, and you're aggressively seeking that payment from that insurance company, it looks like unfair to the insurance company. And I hate saying that because insurance companies are unfair with a lot of stuff, but that's just how it's looked upon like that. So it's a different type of field. You don't have just freedom to do whatever really you want and need to blast off marketing, unless you're dealing with a cash only practice, does not cross over into insurance, or you're using the right steps. Maybe the provider should have a healthcare attorney or a business lawyer that can guide them in their state's rules and how it goes with setting up the advertising for that type of thing. For instance, I'll give you one quick example. When I discount rates, if my fee is, let's say, $65 for an adjustment as a full price, and I discount it within 20%, there's no problem to do that whatsoever, because Medicare fee schedule in healthcare is 80-20. So if I bill, let's say you got into a car accident, you come to me and I bill your Geico car insurance with $65. They come back at a 20% of the fee schedule for that. So they're responsible to pay 20% less than the actual allotted amount based on the Medicare fee schedule. Sounds confusing. Here's my point. If I'm comfortable with discounting anywhere within that window without breaking any laws or anything like that for somebody that needs it. And then you have hardship agreements. If somebody's like, I'm unemployed, my back's killing me, I'm in a crisis, I can sign an agreement and then I can discount their rate a little bit based on a true hardship. But there's strategic ways around that. So I think I was yapping a lot. So if you guys want to chime in a little bit and give me some input, either questions, or if you guys had any tips, advice on what you think a new age health clinic can utilize other than, let's say, Instagram, I'd love to hear it.
Cool. Yeah. And so thank you for the points that you brought up. It's all about the documentation, it sounds like, when you're working with insurances. And I know, like with FDA, it's all about the languaging. Can you really, not so much in your case, but in other practitioners that are more wellness oriented, you have to be very careful what, using certain words like healing.
There's
things like that.
There's definitely some red flags. Like there's things that, you have to, that's why disclosures are usually important with a lot of this stuff. Sometimes people saying, like, I'm treating this or I'm treating that. Some practices can't say those things. And states vary too. Their state laws are totally different. Some people are allowed to do, some practitioners in certain things are allowed to do more in other states. There's some states where, a chiropractor can only adjust the spine, and there's some where some chiropractors can like do primary care. So it really varies state to state on a lot of stuff. In school, we take everything because some states are pretty wide open as far as what you can do. So even though we don't, practice a lot of things, let's say in Florida, it's a very good state as far as it goes for nutrition and things like that. I will tell you, the main goal for this practice, Win Wellness, not necessarily the campus chiropractic one, but this particular office I'm in right now, is to be able to take a nutritional, physiological, and an anatomical, structural fix to the body. So a lot of people come in with an area or a complaint, but it doesn't always mean it's just that localized area. So sometimes neurological symptoms can manifest through GI tract problems and stuff like that. So what we want to do is be able to tie in the whole system into this practice and fix people from both a anatomical standpoint and a physiological standpoint. Are we able to have people chime in if they want to ask a question or anything like that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would love to hear from some of our students.
I actually have a question and a comment for you, Dr. Richard. So for as far as like the insurance is concerned, do you have any operations that's just cash cash basis? Because I'm just thinking of, some things in the office, like the massage, for instance, might not be covered under an insurance. So with those, do you kind of split them in half, kind of like this different procedures and things you have?
Yep. Good question. Yeah, I do. I have a massage therapist here, does sports massage, and those are between the sports massage, the Shockwave instrument that I was telling you about. Those are essentially straight cash services. I will tell you, this practice, remember I told you at the FIU location, I have a partner, and we set up some group network stuff and everything because has many years as an in-network provider. So we're able to utilize some in-network insurance benefits. Over here, I'm the sole owner of Win Wellness. And I'm an out-of-network provider. I don't even mess with general health insurance over here. I actually do self-pay. So it's basically a cash practice. And when we say cash practice in the field, we just mean non-insurance, not actually like cash only type of transaction. Okay. But when you hear somebody say I have a cash practice, they're just saying I don't take insurance, So the reason I don't take insurance here is because the way that out-of-network health insurance goes as a sole provider here is that most people's out-of-network benefits have massive deductibles, and they have a certain number of visits that they're allowed. So if you have 20 visits, but your deductible is $7,000-8,000, it's like impossible to hit that and actually give you benefits. So what I do is I just have reasonable rates, and I have populations that we discount, such as the athletes that work out here. They get a 15% discount right off the rip. And then students and first responders, we have like those populations, they get certain discounts in place right off the bat. So over here, I also deal with, this is Miami. It's like an accident capital. So I have people coming in here because they hurt their necks, because they get, hit. I have had car accidents or motorcycle accidents happen right outside the front door here. So we do take that because there's no networks set up for auto coverage rehab. There's only networks set up for in and out of network for healthcare. So essentially, you have a very small deductible with auto coverage, and we can help people tremendously with that. And it's very easy to bill that. Whereas health insurance is a totally different game when it comes to out of network. So the long way around that question is, over here, I do a lot of self-pay, AKA cash services, massage, shockwave adjustments. Most people, unless they were involved in a personal injury case of some sort, pay out of pocket over here. And they're usually populations that get some sort of a discount. But it's within a 20% discount. I don't go over that. It keeps me within my safety range for billing any insurance within Medicare fee schedule. I don't know if that was confusing or not, but did that help you, Josh?
I understand. Yeah, and it kind of snowballs into my next comment, but you kind of already touched it. I was just saying, like, just since you are next to that gym, just having like that partnership where, when you first sign up for a gym, having, people say, hey, we have adjustments, massages, and I know when I'm going to the gym, because I do some CrossFit and workout as well, I think that would be more appealing to me, because having that 20%, that 20% that you offer for anyone coming into the gym, lots of athletes, lots of people who are getting over injuries, some people who are doing physical therapy, that would be great. So I think that's a great partnership that you have as far as just making sure it's with more gyms and things in that area.
I really appreciate that, and that's exactly what we went for over here. We made it easy. Look, I want to show you something. Hang on, check this out. So if you see, right, remember that I showed you these windows over here? So we have like combo unit therapeutic stuff going on right outside. I'm going to show you out here too. Hang tight.
Happening.
You got to walk past this door to leave to your car. So if you're feeling some sort of ache or pain, you walk past this door to even leave. So some people come in and they just ask us questions. When we have new members of this gym, what we do, the owner of the gym, Bill, like I was saying before, he takes them in here. He's super proud to have us here. he takes new people in and he says, hey guys, by the way, there's like a full therapy suite in here, massage therapy, chiropractic, PT stuff, and we're all right here. So he takes them in, shows them, introduces them to me. And what I say, this is what we do we allow a complimentary biomechanical assessment. So we're able to then do a very short, it's not a full exam. I'm not advertising. I do a full comprehensive spine exam with neurological findings and full orthopedics, but we'll do a focus-based basic spine exam, lasts a few minutes, complimentary for all new members. So everybody in here is allowed to at least consult and do a short, brief checkup with us. And then they get 15% off services after that. So it's a really appealing way and welcoming way for them to say, hey, look, it's not going to cost me really anything to go sit down and meet these people and see what they have going on and see what they say. So that's what we set up over here. We saw about probably four or five of those patients that I mentioned today were at least 4 or 5, maybe more, were from here. So yeah, good observation. Thank you for that comment. And that's exactly what we're going for.
Christine, were you starting to ask a question or say something?
Yeah, hi, Dr. Richard. No, I mean, everything seemed really interesting. I'm not in medical. I'm actually in aviation, so I was trying to see how I can associate any of this for myself. But I can see where you've leveraged a lot of the resources that you have with FIU, obviously partnering with a CrossFit, facilities. Is there, in moving forward in the future, do you see where you're going to kind of continue linking and leveraging on your resources, like you said, maybe a little bit more as to nutrition and stuff like that, things that can, I guess, push you to the next level, right? And what those leverages are.
Cloning
Exactly.
himself.
Yeah, I know exactly. That's a really good question. And yes, I know exactly what we're heading towards. I have these benchmarks that we have to hit, and I'll tell you right now, this facility, this Wynwood, is the dirt on the ground is gold here. Okay, so the real estate here is wild. Okay, it's very expensive. So this facility, this warehouse that we're in, is going to be, in a couple of years, it's going to be gone. Okay, it's not going to be here. It's too lucrative. The owner of this land owns the whole half block. Okay, so it's going to be a high rise in a couple of years. Okay, so the play here is we're going to build out. You guys are the first people to know about this, by the way. But we're going to build out an HQ. We're going to make a headquarters for this company, and it's going to be in this area. And it's going to be a larger square footage facility with an X-ray. So we're going to do some diagnostics, and we're going to have a couple of providers in there. And then out of that facility, not only will we have X-ray and exactly what we have now, and then some private rooms, consulting. We're going to have functional medicine, which I do as well. So we'll be able to send a phlebotomist, most likely, to the way I wanted to do this was exactly like this. Have a program where if you want to really have an ultimate anatomy and physiology experience, is we're going to send a phlebotomist we can send a phlebotomist to your house to draw your blood, right? And we can send that out to a lab called SpectraCell. SpectraCell is a specialty lab that takes that, and they're the only ones that have the patent for the technology that tells every vitamin and mineral deficiency, or what levels you're at in everything in your body. The ultimate play is I've already started working on this project where if somebody comes back and they need, like, they're deficient in like two different vitamins and a mineral or something like that, and we want to put them on a specific dose for a 3-month period. There's a company, a lab that we can outsource this to, or we can give them direct per patient instructions on what we want in individual packets of like a 30-day box where a patient can take and rip off their packet of exactly what vitamins their body needs and only their body needs, and they can consume that for, let's say, some patients might need it for 6 months, some patients might need it for 3, right? That's just to be fast with it, because I know this can take me down a long rabbit hole of explanation. But we can essentially get people's vitamin nutrient levels exactly where they need to be through that, and also test people for food sensitivities and cross reactivities. What that means is, let's say somebody has an allergy, not an allergy, sorry, actually it's the opposite. It's not the opposite, but I don't want to say the word allergy. Let's say a sensitivity or an inflammatory issue when it comes to eating a certain protein, whether it's dairy or whether it's gluten or whether it's soy or something like that. And we can test that and then also test in their blood what cross reacts with that. So some people might have a sensitivity causing systemic inflammation to, let's say, gluten protein, but they also get that same response from corn. We can test those two things and say, listen, not only do you have that to this, but your body reacts to corn products like it's consuming gluten protein. So we're going to put you on this diet and we're going to be able to track that, follow that. So that's like a really elite level of how we can really address and assess people from the inside and out, right? So anatomy, when I say anatomy, I'm talking about changing structure. That's good for chiropractic standpoint. But when it comes to physiology, that's the function. That's the function within our cells and our body, right? So that we change from a nutritional standpoint. So we can give food guidelines. We can give food guidelines, supplementation, and anything that they need. We want to develop memberships for this type of thing too, so people can be a member of our facility and have actually like really good rates and discounts. It's almost like wellness insurance. Okay, so that's basically what we want to bring to the community. And then the idea of taking a 400 square foot little box with air conditioning and making it into a powerhouse little injury rehab center and performance kind of chiropractic center as well. We have the HQ set up in Wynwood, and I want to spring out these small satellite offices, Coral Gables, Miami Shores. You know, that's how we grow out from there. So we want to have this. Wynwood can be the heart of it, and then we got some little blood vessels going out to these other areas, and then we can have small spots just like this that all communicate back to our headquarters. So yeah, that's kind of the main plan.
Thank you.
Was that a little overkill? Yeah. Were you able to take that in?
No, it was good. It was good. You just have to extend to Kendall.
Yeah. We actually, my office manager lives in Kendall, and he's like, please do Win Wellness Kendall.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd like to get, I got to get a spot south. I have to get a spot south. So I'll explore that. The next step is building out HQ. And then we want to pop something north near the shores, Miami Shores area, and then south Miami or not Falls. What's that area?
The Crossing.
Yeah,
Pinecrest.
I think it's something.
It's like Pinecrest area.
Yeah, what's that like mall, the outdoor mall over there in like
Kendall?
That's
the Falls.
The Falls.
Yeah. The Falls, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty good area. So.
Yes.
Good enough for Apple to have a store there. So.
Yep. Can't beat it.
No, and to your point, Christine, yes, even though you're coming from a very different industry, there's still some crossover. It's about taking, maybe you could say, some of the stereotypes about chiropractic care and then expanding, or in your case, some of the aviation people, and then finding those unique products that can expand your audience and expand your ability to connect with customers.
Yeah. What do you do in aviation?
I'm a director for an aviation aftermarket. So we lease aircrafts and engines, and we also sell parts. We trade and all that stuff. And I'm their corporate director for compliance and logistics. So yeah, I mean, I took this marketing class because I thought it was, but my master's is in international business. But I thought the marketing portion would be actually kind of neat to see how I would be able to apply it. And it's been pretty interesting to figure out for them, like their brand equity and how they're marketing today. It's very old school mentality industry and how to kind of change that mindset. has been
Yeah,
pretty
there's
interesting.
I remember Jet Smarter. I don't know if that place that's still around. Is that, do you know what I'm talking about? That company, Jet Smarter. It was where they take a dead leg off of a private jet, and you could be a member for somewhat reasonable price and fly private jets. And
Oh, those, yeah,
whatnot.
those are probably, yeah, those are like the small regional aircraft. So yeah, this is
Yeah.
like, this is the big stuff. This is like the commercial and military side of it.
Yeah, commercial.
But
Yeah,
yeah, no, but it's a very competitive industry, but very small, pretty much like your industry as well. Everybody kind of knows each other.
right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Well, that's good that you took this class. I think that you don't close your doors down to anything. I mean, I learn from everybody every day. I have interns that come under me, and I'm like, I want to know what you know. I think it's like you can learn from everybody.
Yeah, I think everything kind of overlaps. So yeah, no,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, and it's nice to also do things like this and get some experience with everybody, all different types of people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Cool. Well, before we wrap it up, does anybody else have anything they'd like to add?
Yeah, so
Harry.
I just want to ask you a question. So, what is the main marketing that you've been using for your business? Are you using only discount or just like advertising?
I'm sorry, can you say that again one more time?
A little bit louder.
What type of marketing that you use for your business? Have you been using only discount or just advertising?
Yeah, I've been using. So I have my main source is interpersonal marketing, because it just flows. Like I can't even tell you how blessed I've been in this location to have amazing. I mean, we almost have this wild rate of personal referrals that's like scary in a way. Like almost everybody that comes in here at some point refers somebody. Like it's awesome. But as far as paid marketing, we actually are starting a campaign for this office for campus. We do mainly like a lot of Instagram stuff. But for this location, we do really nothing right now. Okay, so that's why I'm starting to do an Instagram campaign. I've built this place up with a sign on the outside and word of mouth. It's been amazing, and I'm very busy. And so what I'm saying is that I had to wait because I split my schedule between two offices. So up until very recently, I have a 4-year-old son, and up until then, I cut back my schedule up until the last, let's say, 2 months. I think it was, Wendy, I told you about a month or two. I used to work 6 days a week. I would do 3 days in one office, 3 days in the other. Then I kept hiring on more people and training more people, and now we're open 5 days in this location and then 3.5 in the other. And I'm only treating patients now 3.5 days a week, and I'm doing administrative stuff the others. So now I finally have time to outgrow just organic word of mouth, AKA ground and pound kind of marketing, which is getting the word out on the street with your fellow, clientele or patient base, and the CrossFit over here, into now investing into a really good website, which we're working on right now. And we'll end up doing a little bit of SEO for certain things. I'd like to advertise heavy on that Shockwave instrument I was telling you guys about. And then Instagram marketing and all social media stuff is what we're about to be launching in the next, let's say, month and a half over here.
Cool.
Yes, thank you.
I think also, Dr. Richard, I think since y'all just starting up the Instagram for this location, it'll be like really a good, I think it'll be a good marketing tactic just to have like a super nice video, like with the actual gym that you're partnered with, like really nice, really in-depth, probably like 2 minutes, make it a sponsor ad and just push it out throughout, Miami, north, south, for more traction as well. So I think that would be a good start as well if you already haven't put the Instagram page up.
Yeah, you kind of, you could see if you pull that up, it's a really low page. Like the campus Chiro page has a lot of activity, but this page is, we put no effort into any outside marketing other than doing good work within the clinic, and we've just been successful on that, which is great. And it's grown organically. It's grown like a baby, you know. I mean, it's literally, I'm watching this go from a newborn, you know, to an infant to a toddler. I think we're in that toddler phase, so now I got to start coming up with new tricks to, you know,
Keep them amused.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna be. I have already the guy that's been working on my page over there, and I want to pull him on over here and have him help me out, creating some really solid videos. And look, if you guys do any marketing work on the side, shoot me an email. Let me know what your companies do and what you're doing as side work and what you have going on and what makes you guys different. And you know, maybe we can even chat about some opportunities. I actually had somebody one time, Wendy, from one of your classes years ago that was really wanted to just come over to the office at campus and just talk for a while and give a bunch of advice and some input, and just he felt super juiced up about the kind of the tasks that we were accomplishing and the vision and how kind of genuine really we are with why we're here and helping people, you know. So just pushing it forward.
Yes, lots of good connections and partnerships. You know, while you were seeing, like, since you are connected to the CrossFit, I could see you also doing like cross promotions, right?
Yeah.
So CrossFit puts out a campaign for their, you know, upcoming session or a program, and they're like, oh, and by the way, we have on site, you know, a chiropractor and or a full functional fitness center, and then you could do the same thing. You know, you have this full service thing. Oh, and by the way, there's a CrossFit gym next door. So you just complementary promotions.
Oh, it's totally synergistic. Yeah, it's amazing. They have events over here sometimes when they do that event Wadapalooza, which is I think it was Joshua that said he does CrossFit, right? So you'll know Wadapalooza. This is one of the official drop-in gyms. So you got people from all over the world that come over here to Miami, and they want to train and take pictures with some of the spray paint over here, and train in this gym and train in the backyard over here because they have an outdoor spot, and people love it, man. People from all over the place, all over Europe, over here training, and we put a table right outside, and we do vibe gun and massage and all sorts of stuff for these athletes and stretching and you know, and it works out. It's amazing. I mean, we crush it with these guys and they love it, you know. But I'll tell you, the one thing that I must say is no matter how you market, I mean, you gotta if you guys are going into this as marketers, you know, to market for healthcare clinics or something like that, you know, make sure that the relationship works on your end too, you know, because you gotta believe in the people that you're working for and that they're doing the right thing, and also because you'll do better for them, you'll do better for yourself, you'll do better for them, you'll be more successful with the job tasks, and then also that they're hard workers, because growth can be a problem. There are good problems, and that's one of them. But growth is scary sometimes, because I've had times where we grew fast and we were like, oh man, put it this way, I'm here right now. I have probably about 20 more notes to input in my system. I mean, I'll probably leave at 10 o'clock at night, maybe not even finished all the way with some of my tasks for today. I was in here since before 9 a.m. today, 8:30, something like that. And I was working a little bit this morning on the computer before then. This is my life, you know. I dedicate everything to these places. So I'm happy to do it. I'm proud of it, and I love it. So, you know, you'll be a frustrated marketer if you're working for a clinic that you do your part and you pull in clientele for them, and they suck on their end. Okay, they can't keep up with it. That can be a temporary problem, but like if it's a prolonged problem, then that's on the office for not stepping up to the plate and being able to take care of business the right way. So, I think that's also important too, making sure that you're working with people that have done marketing for us with campus and stuff for over the years. We've only had two. And the only reason we have two and not one is because the girl that was working with us before, Anna, she's amazing. And she was working with us right out of FIU, we hired her as a marketer, right out of school, because she worked with us a little bit for a class project. That's why I'm saying, like, I never turn a shoulder, even though I'm working with some people right now. I love to always meet people and see what's out there. So, but Anna was with us, and the only reason she had left the project, and she was so upset for doing it, is because she had this full-time marketing job that she got. She didn't want to work just on her own, and she got hired by a company, health benefits, full-time, overtime pay, and all this stuff. And she was like family with us, and she was like, and she really loved working with us, and it was so fun for her. But we were her only client that she had like that, where she enjoyed it, so she needed to get this like full-time position. So that's the only reason that we even have a second person that we were working with. We really hold long-term relationships. We're good people over here, man.
Yes, indeed.
Good energy.
Indeed. Yeah. And that's what it takes. You put out the right energy, you get the right people back, and that's in any industry. It's make sure you find the companies and the people you connect with. So with that, I know we've kept you on a long time. I really, really, truly appreciate your willingness to be here and share about, the industry and the practice that you're in, and appreciate your taking your time away from all the notes you still have yet to do.
No, I love doing this stuff. I just like to put it into perspective for students that the real world is hard work. And a lot of people are, I don't know, all I see online is just people advertising about just working less. And that's a real thing, and that can happen, and you can automate some systems and stuff, but get ready to put some hard work in, that's what it's all about. So yeah, I think that's
hard to automate your passion.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, cool.
Anybody else have anything, or we're pretty good for tonight? I'm going to leave you guys some.
I think we're good.
Yeah. So Wendy, can I give you maybe like some contacts if you want to, like, I don't know, maybe email it to your class if anybody needs to reach out. My apologies once again. I didn't even have time to do a PowerPoint. I worked through lunch, so yeah.
Hey, don't forget to take care of you. I've got your different clinics and contact info, so I can post that up.
Yeah, you guys, you can feel free to forward. You can send my cell phone out there. People, you guys could text me if you need. And my general email is fine too. And I look forward to hearing from some of you folks.
Very good. Well, thanks again so much.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you. All right. Happy note taking.
Good night.
Bye. Thank you. Okay, bye-bye. Have a good night.
Cool. Well, that was hopefully very informative. I'm going to stop the recording now.